What's up? I'm Andy, and this is part 2 of creating a passion project with no budget. Shouts out to all the new subscribers, which is all of you, because I have one video. There's over 100 of you now, which is terrifying. It's a lot of people to disappoint. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Probably. It was my first video, and I'm really pleased with the feedback and the reaction that it got. There were a lot of questions. I didn't really get back to anyone. I felt very overwhelmed. I'm brand new to this YouTube thing, so you have to bear with me as I get overwhelmed. I wasn't expecting to get overwhelmed by feedback in my first video, so thank you. Alright, so quick recap. I talked about keeping your team lean, which means having fewer people, and a way of supporting this is by having people who are multidisciplinary, meaning that they have multiple disciplines that they can provide the team. Hopefully everyone brings something unique to the mix. I also talked about keeping your team cross-functional, which means having people from different disciplines on the same team, meaning that you don't separate into departments. You don't have an art department, you don't have a programming department. You make sure that everyone attends meetings together, that they communicate with each other, that you're one team, that you're all on the same page the entire time. All right, so I just want to talk about the question that has been plaguing just Ion on Twitter. So shouts out to Ion, being the only person who called me out on the fact that there is truly no such thing as a truly no budget project, which I was getting to. It was planned for the second video, and that is because when you are planning a project, you aren't just putting aside money. You have to plan for the time spent. In terms of how project budgeting works, it's not just about having money, it's also about the time dedicated to the project by the team. Unfortunately, it is also considered a cost. So let's get to that. Part 1, the very invigorating topic of the triple constraints. So a lot of project managers like to use a little triangle known as the triple constraints. The triple constraints is a helpful visualization tool for depicting how changing or affecting one aspect of the project will necessarily have an impact on the rest. Lots of variations and visualizations have been made, but if you Google that, you'll find that they are all dumb and ugly. So I went ahead and I created one that still kept all the pertinent information exactly where it already was, but now it looks a lot sexier. So the idea behind the triple constraints is that if you grew or shrank any side of the triangle, that one or both sides of the other sides would necessarily have to change. If you are a project manager and someone wants to shrink that budget, guess what? Something is gonna have to change. Either the quality is going way down or it's not getting finished as quickly as you can't afford to hire enough staff, possibly both. So for Dworos, our triangle wasn't this pretty little balanced equilateral liar. So especially because, as is the point of this video series, we had no budget. So for our triangle, I made one important change. I changed the budget constraint to cost. So for every dollar we did not have to spend on the project took something else from us. Now, nothing is free, and if you don't have money to pay, then you go to dev jail, and you do time. You do a lot of time. We worked full-time jobs, we did contracts. This was just to sustain ourselves through the project, but we couldn't just do part-time hours, so we had to sacrifice other aspects of our lives, such as social lives, our health, relaxation time. So none of that's good. Part 2, blood magic. So I do not recommend that you work yourself to the bone like this. In fact, it would be irresponsible of me to promote this, considering what I went through, which I will get probably to in another video. But there are some compromises that you will necessarily have to make if you ever intend to do this. Everything has a cost. This is everything on the table. This is just as simple as it gets. Large projects are like blood magic, and they require sacrifices. There is no way around that, and you'll just have to figure out what you're willing to give up. The less that you can give up, the longer that the project will take. If in the long term, that's what's better for you, that's better for your health, then that's not a bad thing. But this is just real talk. It will increase the timeline, and that's what it will take. Everything has a cost. Everything has a cost. A lot of people will tell you not to sacrifice any part of your life. And let me tell you, these are people who most likely have money or support. And that's great. But if you don't have that, this is just some real talk. Everything has a cost. All right, so my hair looked really bad through this entire video, and I just want a moment to redeem myself. Upload that to the internet.